Hello, hello, hello. I am back with this Friday Live. Are you a person right now who's tracking your cycles? Maybe you've been doing so for a long time. Maybe you track everything in your life. Maybe you're like me, tracking time, just tracking. But maybe you feel like there's a pressure. Maybe you feel like your periods are off. Maybe you feel like everything's become irregular rather than regular. Or you're counting the irregularities as something that's normal, maybe. And if that sounds like you, then listen to this video. My name is Trina Kavanagh-Thomas. I'm a spiritual health coach, and I mainly work with female coaches, spiritually conscious and curious. I got that all back to front. Maybe I was like Yoda today. Anyway, I forgive myself today. So today's video, and this is really funny because this is coming from me. And if you know me very well, you know, like I get people to like track themselves just to find out more about what their body is doing, when it's doing certain things at certain times of the month. And that was like a major thing for me at one point in time, like really massive until very, very recently. So I've been, just to give you a little bit of a backstory, I've been tracking my cycle now for, gosh, maybe about 18 years or something like that. So I've been tracking my cycles for quite a long time, possibly after it would have been after one of my miscarriages that I actually started tracking my cycles. So after my first child was born, she's 20, and definitely before my second child was born, because tracking really helped know when I was ovulating and things. But what I didn't realize, and possibly now I can actually pinpoint, is that there was a lot of pressure and a lot of internal stress in my mind. Very recently, over the last couple of years or so, I thought it was like perimenopausal. And I know menopause is a big thing at this moment in time. And I do feel like this conversation needs raising as well. I'm 42 years old, and in my family, mainly in the women in the family, mainly some of the women have had hysterectomies quite early on. So they've had them like early 40s. So, and I kind of felt over the last few years, oh my God, my period's like coming earlier. Maybe I'm perimenopausal, period's coming earlier. It's coming like, rather than the usual 28, 27 days, more 27 once I stopped taking the pill, because I stopped taking the pill a long, long time ago. That was messing up with my hormones. And with my psyche as well. I felt quite suicidal. But what I started to notice and identify was that my periods like were coming early, and I'd be like kind of tracking them all the time. And it was like, oh my God, it's like going down to like 24 days from 28, 27, 24. And I'm going, yeah, you know what? I must be perimenopausal. And it's really funny because I sat with my daughter, and I said to her, because there was a couple of times where I wasn't very stressed at all, and my periods actually regulated themselves again. So because I've been journaling now for nearly over 3 years, I've got a backlog of what's going on in my life. And obviously I've been tracking my periods at the same time. So I use it as like almost like a scientific experiment on myself. So I was using it as almost like a scientific experiment on myself. And I could identify that when I wasn't stressed, or wasn't pushing or putting a load of pressure on myself, my periods would come back to their regular timing. Who knew? So my periods came back to their regular timing. And very recently I decided I'm not going to track my periods anymore. And my daughter sat with me and she's like, you know what? I think that's really stressing you out. like tracking them all the time and, you know, knowing where you are and everything. I was like, yeah, it's like, I'm going to have to let go of it. I really felt like this internal need to just let go. And it was in that letting go that my periods, rather than being 24 days, 23, they went up to back to 27. I wasn't using and expending all my energy on tracking my periods anymore. Now, this is not knocking tracking periods or anything like that. This is just another perspective on when we're tracking, are we putting added pressure onto ourselves? Going, oh my God, okay, well, my period hasn't started at this time and it should be here right now. And what I could, and even in my own journey, what I could feel this tension in my body. Like it will get like partway through the month and I'd have like this really stress, tension in my stomach. And it was like, not great. It was like, just like this undue pressure, this undue feeling that I was kind of like putting on myself to do this. You know, just for more information rather than just allowing myself to live my life. And I think that's what's come up this week as well, and why I needed to share this video, because what also came up this week was, you know, just observe, Trina. Just sit and observe, and then do this one thing, and then sit and observe and do this one thing. And this is the one thing that I've been guided to do. Guided to share this video. Can tracking your cycles, can tracking mess up your cycles? Can it put you into undue stress and undue pressure because you're always thinking about it, always wondering, okay, well, partway through the month, I feel limiting beliefs. Usually around about the time I'm ovulating, or I feel like, oh my, like the world's ending, usually 4 days after my period, like on track. But because I was always waiting for that time, it was like and trepidation or something like that. But it sent my body into overdrive. And this is a conversation that I really want us to have right now, because menopause is a big thing right now. It's a big thing in, you know, for companies to look at, big thing for women in particular, a massive thing right now. And I personally believe as well, I personally feel we need to explore the roots of how stressed we are as women and whether that is speeding up the menopause and speeding up your system. So it's almost like rather than speeding up the system, you're allowing your body to go back to its natural tracking, its natural feeling, and it's natural, the thing that it's meant to do. So it's saying, share this story. It took 13 months to become pregnant with my second child. And during that time, I kind of felt like there was something wrong with me, and I was tracking them too. I was always wondering why I couldn't get pregnant, and I'd had quite a few miscarriages as well. And I just kept wondering, why am I not pregnant? And it's really funny because I actually went for acupuncture. Something came up near the 13th month, go for some acupuncture, go and see the family doctor. And at that time, you know, when you have one doctor, family doctor, he was incredible. And I went to go see him to have some tests done. And I also went for acupuncture, and I felt like I was on cloud 9, like nothing was going on in my world. Everything was just incredible. And he said to me, he goes, your system is all backed up. It's like a traffic jam. You've got too much pressure. It's all building up in here. All this pressure. And he was pointing to, and obviously I had pins in my head as well. Pins in my head, pins in my stomach. And he said it's all building up in your body. And yeah, I was under the stress. I was tracking cycles all the time. When was I ovulating? You know, when is this going to happen? You know, it's like my video. When is this going to happen? When is it actually going to happen? It's like when we think about, you know, things taking off our long-term visions. My vision was to have, you know, the second child. This was my vision. I didn't realize how, you know, that was going to be a difficult process to have a second child. But it was on my vision. But what I was doing in the meantime was trying to track everything, keep an eye on everything, time everything. It wasn't until I actually went for the acupuncture that I actually calmed the hell down, released the tracking for a little while, went to the doctor, and the doctor went, you know what, everything's fine. You're actually going to have a baby in the next month. I was pregnant within the next month. No shitting you. We went to Lapland. Went to Lapland. There was an amazing sauna there, and I came back with Santa's baby. That's a true story. I sat on Santa's knee, and little did I know at the time I was pregnant. Great Christmas. See, you do need to believe in Santa, kids. So what I'm trying to say is, you know, have a look at what you're doing right now. And this is going to go into my video of SMART goals versus relaxed goal setting. So SMART goals versus relaxed goal setting, which I'll do. It'll come out over the weekend while I'm taking some time off. But it all leads into each other, because when you're wondering why things aren't happening, it's when we're putting loads and loads and loads of pressure on ourselves to make sure we, you know, we're tracking everything. Oh my God. And have you ever felt that before? So when I work with my clients, we clear all that down and we start from scratch. What is the thing that's really on your mind most? What is it that you need to get done now? I know in my case, this came up for me today, this book, right? I was looking around the house going, okay, my house isn't that messy actually at this moment in time. It's been a lot worse. It's a lot tidier anyway. So, but I found this book and it was like, yeah, it's time to do some, you know, cleaning in the house as well. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for today. If you just joined me now, hello. If you have been watching this, hello. Please do heart or like. It enables the reach. Please do join me on my YouTube channel if you haven't yet. Please do go back to the beginning if you've not watched it all the way through and you are interested in this and you're interested in cycles in particular. The main thing that I'm really incredible at, besides understanding, supporting and guiding you, is patterns and understanding patterns and behaviors and how they work within the physicality, and teaching you to understand your own patterns so you can turn up and not have to really track or do anything like that anymore. So I'm going to leave it there for today. Have the most incredible day. If you feel like tracking, track. If you don't, have a look at something different. Always be open to questioning whatever you're doing. Anyway, leaving it there because otherwise I'm not going to switch off and I'm just going to keep over-explaining. And I don't know why. All right. Have a great weekend. Bye.